guys, Ralph here, and welcome to True Power Trumpet Fitness. And welcome to terrific Tuesday. If you saw the weather, you wouldn't think so terrific, but it is a wonderful day when you got double C's. 2020, you're all going to have them if you follow these directions. Anyway, my man, Doc, you saw the thumbnail. What's up, Doc? Nobody has been more in awe of Doc since I was 12 years old. And yes, he's the one guy that has extraordinary results and goes against all of the true power concepts. I want to discuss that a little bit, okay? And I would like your comments down below. Anyway, haven't played a note. Let's see what we got. Anyway, how's that for warm-up? Okay. Now, my man Doc, I've talked about him before, and as I said before, I had a personal connection with Vacchiano, Broyles, Jerry, and some John Ware, and some of the other ones. I have met Doc once, and it was just to schmooze for a couple hours at a job I was doing. So since I had that personal connection with those, I'm more drawn to them as far as, my modeling myself and all that sort of stuff. But Doc wasn't the first guy. I wasn't old enough to stay up and watch The Tonight Show. But my father used to talk about him all the time. You got to see this guy, Doc Severinsen. And he originally, bought me some albums. And I could not turn the stuff off. I mean, the guy's virtuosity is off the charts. And I'll tell you what. Interesting enough, with all his high notes, with all the Tonight Show and everything, there is very interesting vid on YouTube of him playing the Del Stegers Carnival of Venice. And it's just as good as Del Stegers. I mean, it is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. And you don't think of that when you think of Doc. Anyway, as I said before, he's the only guy that I can think of that has the spectacular results that goes in direct contradiction of the true power principles. Okay? Now, I'm not going to second guess it. Just like I said, overblowing. Stan Mark did it. It can be done. So this whole tight corner thing and all that sort of thing can be done. Obviously, it can be done. He's the only one that I know of that has brought it to that level, chop-wise. Anyway, but my question is, what's up? How does he do it? Okay, now I told you, I did meet him once at a job I was doing, and with my brass quintet, and all he could do was talk about trumpet. Just a trumpet geek like every single one of us. And he would have gone on for 2 hours. And we almost got in trouble with the planner of the event. It was a Ralph Lauren event, the opening of a Ralph Lauren line. And Trump was there. Everybody, Mayor Koch. And I mean, it was ridiculous. Roy Cohn, the lawyer. I mean, it was just models. It was ridiculous. And we almost got in trouble because we spent the time talking to him instead of actually playing. We were all just mesmerized. And he literally went to the parting planner and said, look, my fault, give him a break. So we did catch a break. We played an extra half hour to, appease the guy. But anyway, but that was Doc. We could not stop talking about chops. He knew of Jerry, and I was heavily into Jerry at that time. It was Jerry's B-flat trumpet and his C trumpet, his mouthpiece. He wanted to, he couldn't play, but he would, put his finger. Do you mind if I put my finger in the mouthpiece and everything? He knew of Jerry, and he bought several of Jerry's mouthpieces. But Jerry always comes up with something new, and he just, couldn't put it away. Just a trumpet junkie. Okay, but the chops. He makes no bones about it. And why should he? He's Doc Severinsen. Benny Baker told him eons ago, tighten the corners and relax the middle. We do just the opposite. Compress the middle and relax the corners. Okay? So again, what the heck is he doing to get these kind of results? Ralph, if what you say is true, how can he be so great and tighten the corners? Well, this is what I presume. And guys, please, it's not like I'm slamming him. Quite the opposite. I admire him, and I modeled myself after him for years with the practice. Nobody was going to practice more than me. If I was not going to be the best, it wasn't because I didn't try. And it was all modeled on Doc. Okay? But what happens is this, and I'm going to leave a video down below, a link. I want you to click on it. It is the first part of a 3-part series of a clinic that Doc was doing. And he would talk, and he would go step by step by step what he does to warm up. Okay? Now, it takes him, and he makes no bones about it, it makes him minimum 3 hours, preferably 5 hours, to turn into Doc. Guys, and that to me, wow, that to me, and that is why he is Doc. That's why he admits it. I'm not saying that's why he's gone through 4 wives and untold millions in alimony and all this sort of stuff, because all he wanted to do, he would practice all day long and then play all night. That's all he did. Now, he felt he had to. In the time that I talked to him, he felt like if he didn't practice that day, minimum 3 hours, he was a basket case. Now, if you listen to that video, and he shows you some of the first notes of the day, and you might have to go to the second or third video to get a better rendition of Doc, you'll see it does not sound like the Doc that we know and love. It takes a long time of playing, warming up, manipulating, coercing different mouthpieces and everything to turn into Doc. Okay? And that, I feel, is where the tight corners come in. Now, if you think about it, what the heck is he doing for 3 hours, 5 hours? And he admits, Clark book, beginning to end. Then some days, depending on what he had to do, go back and do it again. Arbin characteristic studies, beginning to end. This is day after day after day. And what is he doing to turn into Doc? Well, you listen to it. He's playing the chops into relaxation. He's loosening up the chops. He comes right out and says he's loosening up the chops. Guys, I really and truly believe that if he would do nothing else. Now, his articulations are quite good. I don't know where his tongue is. From what I can tell, he has never said a word about the tongue. And when I talked with him, 30 years ago, we weren't into the tongue thing yet either. So I don't know what he claims about the tongue. If you listen to that Carnival of Venice, the notes pop. His tongue has got to be somewhere in the vicinity of a forward tongue. Got to be. Okay? But again, those corners. If he just took the concept of relaxing the corners, guys, all these hours and hours of practice, if he still did them, if he didn't have to do them, we don't know if he would still do it, could be put to other things. And I do believe because of these tight corners, he was only scratching the surface of the talent. I do believe that. I absolutely believe that. And that, guys, if you think about what he achieved, if he was only scratching the surface, it's scary. Scary. Harry James, Horst Fischer, if you look at the chops, they're completely relaxed and they had great mouthpieces and everything. I think they were at the height of their talent. Could they all have practiced more like Doc? Maybe. But I don't think Doc got to that level chop-wise. Harry and Horst. Now, that is the genre in Maynard. That is the genre I'm going to put him in because that is the commercial jazz lead genre and I don't think he got to that level. In one aspect, he could play all the notes they did, okay? But his tone wasn't as relaxed. It wasn't as big. It was compared to them, and that's compared to Horst Fischer. I mean, it sounded pinched to my ear. Okay? Tight corners. Now, if you listen to that, those 3 videos, I only put 1 in there, okay? But it's a 3-part, and it's a lot of talking. So if you want to listen to all the talking, go ahead. He talks about Jimmy Stamp and how he does this, that, and the other thing, and he does stuff with the slide out and all that. But you listen to him, he doesn't sound like Doc. 3 hours later, yeah. At the end of that clinic, he's starting to come around. You see, okay, there we go. We got our Doc back. But guys, I do believe for all his greatness, for all his success, for all his extraordinary trumpet playing, he was scratching the surface. And I say that in complete 100% deference to this awesome ability. And I have to say, and I've said it before, back when I was 18, 20, 25, well into my 30s, and I was doing the same thing, practicing like Doc, if I knew then what I knew now, be a completely different thing for me. Okay? And I have no regrets. I love what I'm doing now. But if I knew then what I knew now, and I could have added to that practice that I was doing 3-5 hours a day and then doing the job at night and having some success, like Doc, having some success, but at what price? Just a maniacal amount of practice to loosen up the chops to the point where I could be Ralph or Doc. I mean, just, you heard me sometimes, after a day, I could barely play a note. It took me that long to loosen it up. That's what Doc is doing with the maniacal hours. I believe, at least to some degree, loosening up the chops, what he could do just by not tightening the corners. Anyway, Doc, I love you. I love you. God bless you. 90-something years old, you're still putting the 3 hours in. God bless you. When I'm your age, I hope to be doing the same thing. Anyway, eat and drink your fruits and vegetables and live your life with true power. Love you all.